Hey, my name is Jamie Arndt, and today I'm going to talk to you about triad pairs. What is a triad pair? Triad pairs are two triads, often from the same diatonic scale, that sound great when played in succession or played one after the other. Today we're going to look at a triad pair that sounds great over a G7 chord. This is great to use in jazz, in funk, in blues, basically anytime you have a static G7 chord. So today's triad pair that we're going to look at is going to be the F triad and a G triad, played one after the other. Here's a little theory behind why this works. If we're playing over a G7 chord, the scale that's associated with the G7 chord is G mixolydian. And of course, G mixolydian is the fifth mode of C major. So all the notes of the C major scale work over this G7. So if we look at the harmonized triads of a C major scale, F and G are both major. So the F major and the G major triad are right next to each other. So we can play two major triads and their inversions right after one another, and it sounds great. We can also look at the scale degrees from each triad and how they relate to the chord. So over a G7 chord, the F triad is built of F, the flatted 7 of G, A the 9th, and C the 11th. And then of course the G triad gives us the root, the 3rd, and the 5th. So by playing these two triads and their inversions over a G7 chord, you get some extensions, you get some chord tones, and it sounds really interesting. So here's the first little phrase I'll show you. We'll go up an F triad starting on A the 3rd, and then up a G triad. Then up the next inversion, F triad. Then the next inversion, G triad. Then up F. Then up G. Then up the F triad. Then up the next G triad. So here's how it sounds over a G7 vamp. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look down. And one thing I like to do is go up one and down the other. You can also do this on strings 2 through 4, the middle string set. 3, 4. So it gives you a really cool sound. Another thing you can do is stretch. So from the F chord, you play the 3rd, the 5th, the root, and then the 3rd, and then down the G chord. So that whole pattern, F, down the G, then F from C to C, that's C, F, A, C, and then down the G, up the F, that's F, A, C, F, and then down the G, up the F again, and then down the G, and that takes us up the whole neck, the full octave. And then you can mix it in with your other lines. One thing about this is if you play it all the way up and down the neck, it might sound a little derivative. It might sound a little bit like an exercise, but if you combine it with some other lines and figures, you can really use it as a springboard to get from one point in the neck to the next. So here's a cool little phrase that combines the triads, but instead of doing it all on the same string set, you can cross the string sets. So we'll play an F triad at the 13th fret, F, A, C, and then a G triad, first inversion, starting with the B that's on the 5th string. There's B, 5th string, 14th fret, B, D, G. So we have our F triad, then a first inversion G triad, then an F triad again, an octave up, F, A, C, and then another first inversion G triad, B, D, G. So slowly. And faster, we're in time with the track. So next time you're playing over a dominant 7 groove, try playing the triad of that dominant 7th chord as well as the major triad that lives a whole step down below. It can really break you out of a scalar thing if you're used to playing just pentatonic or the Mixolydian mode, and it'll give you some bigger intervallic leaps and a great way to jump up and down the guitar neck. This is just one way you can use triad pairs in your improvising. I'll be making videos in the future showing other ways that you can use triad pairs over other types of chords, other types of static, harmony, and chord changes. So please click subscribe. I put out lesson videos every week, and you don't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.